can you do a wide pan, because I'm going to end up walking. I've got lots of company with me today, and I cannot just stand in one place. So first of all, I want to come to you and say thank you for singing that last song, and actually the one before. There's a couple things I need to call to attention. Barb, thank you for cheering for me today. I really appreciate that. Okay. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but our foundation is completely run by volunteers. Everyone from the top brass sitting in the back corner to the chairperson to whomever else, okay? So these three ladies in front of me on this side are all on the board of directors. They spend a lot of time and effort pushing us, moving us forward. These two ladies over here volunteer their time on a very weekly basis for I don't want to say how many years, to help people grow and move forward. Okay, so it's so important that we volunteer our time. With that being said, I was told a long time ago when I started doing lectures that if you bring forward your own personal experiences, people can relate better. So, thank you, Sharon, for that, because that was your information. I'd like you to take one of these and hang on to it for the next little while. Take one, pass it around. And the reason why I'm asking you to do this is because it's come to my attention that there's a bit of a spiritual pandemic going on. And I'd like to do something about it. And I'm going to ask you to help me. And you're going to go, oh man, here she is on her soapbox again. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on. It's not many, but a couple. Okay. So for those of you that don't know, I've been working Ribfest this past couple days in a psychic tent, trying to help spread the word of spiritualism, and take my family on vacation. There's a little bonus in there for me. But what's happening is I'm realizing that a lot of people have a lot of questions, okay? A lot of people have a lot of unanswered questions. And I feel bad for them because that's not cool, right? It's nice to have the want and the need, but if you're not having it fulfilled, if you're not getting the information that you need, that's not really a great place to be in. It's kind of a dark place. So, as I'm standing there talking to different people about what I do, who I am, who I'm with, I realize that there's a lot of misconception about what we do and who we are. And I know I've done a lecture before about, let's be a card-carrying member of spiritualism. Right? I've done it before, but it's becoming more and more apparent to me because what we do is encompass every religion. We don't ask you to believe in one specific thing. We ask you to find what's true to you, okay? We don't browbeat you. We don't, there's a lot of things that we don't do, but what we do is we try to lift you up, okay? Because a lot of the times, by the time someone gets to this place, they're in such a dark space in their life, they're almost hopeless. And I've seen a lot of that this weekend, so yeah, I'm trying not to take it on. And that can be tough. That can be tough too. Anyway, I need to get to this point here. Okay. So, in the pamphlet, the orange pamphlet that you got, on the inside under our pastor's message, in there it says, our purpose is to assist you with your own spiritual development. That's heavy. And to allow you to determine what spiritual beliefs, concepts, or ideas ring true to you. That's pretty heavy. And that's where it comes into non-judgment. I was on Mom's show on Thursday, it was, and we were talking about not judging others, which is so very important. And honestly, I struggle with that on a regular basis. I really do. I'm human. I'm having a human experience. But when we don't judge others, it's interesting the doors that start to open up for us, okay? this past few days, I had this, I would say she's between 15 and 17, this young girl come up to me and she said, "Isn't what you do satanic?" And I went, "Okay, no." And she goes, "Well, Jesus wouldn't be proud of you." And I went, "Honey, you got a lot of learning to do." I said, "Here's this pamphlet." I said, "I want you to take it home. I want you to read it. I want you to get on the internet, go on the website and read it. And when you're ready, when you want your questions really answered without judgment, I want you to email the president of that foundation." And she goes, "The president?" I said, "Yeah, you're talking to her." And she goes, "Okay, but I still think it's satanic." And I went, "Well, who gave you that belief system? Because you didn't come on that on your own." "Well, I go to church." I said, "Oh, good for you. That's great. I'm sure your church does lots of things to help you move forward." "Yeah." I said, "Okay, well, when you're ready and when you want to know more, come and find me. I'll be willing to talk to you. I'm not going to give you a hard time about what you believe. Who am I to tell you what to believe? But I can tell you one thing. I do exactly what Jesus did." "There's no way. Jesus didn't do that." I said, "Reread the Bible and take your personal point of view out of it. You'll see what I'm talking about." "Okay, whatever." Right? Like, okay, so she's 17. She's 17. It's okay. I remember what it was like when I was 17. I'm sure some of you guys do. But that's where she was at, right? So I have to go with it as I'm not going to judge you. I just want to encourage you to figure out what you want to do for yourself, right? You get it? Okay, so that was one experience. The other experience that's been really interesting this weekend is we're not alone at the Rib Fest. There is another psychic, clairvoyant, healing reader. I'm not going to bash her. She's doing what she's going to do. But as I read the flyer that was lovely left on my car windshield, can't say I was impressed with that. I read it and I go, "Oh, psychic, clairvoyant, healing reader. $50 a person, 7 people or more, 3 readings each, blah, blah, blah. Black magic, healing abilities." Anyway, I'll leave it out so you guys can read it. One thing you'll notice is that there's no name on this. There's no address. There's just a phone number. Ain't that a little scary? Where's your integrity? Who are you? Why can't you put your name and say, "This is what I do, this is who I am, I'm proud to be me. Come and talk to me. I walk my talk, I'm here to help you." You think someone who's going to give me a flyer without a name, without ownership of who they are, is going to actually be able to help you? Okay, I believe in without light, there's a lot of dark. Without dark, there's a lot of light. Okay, but you need the contrast. Okay, and that's essentially what we're up against. You know, and like I said, I'm not going to bash her. I just why can't she walk her talk? What's the problem there? You know, what's the problem? If you can't be true to who you are, why are you doing it? You're obviously doing it for the wrong reasons. So, with that being said, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about sorry, I'm downloading information. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about why we do what we do, right? Because we're all here having this human experience. And I find myself that I always feel better when I'm helping other people. And I end up doing a lot of work, pro bono as they say, which I'm actually proud to do. I enjoy doing it. And as long as I know I can help one person move forward, it's good for me. Because really, when it comes right down to it, everything we do is about helping ourselves anyway. You know, if you look at the whole ego, spirit thing, anyway. You guys know what I'm talking about? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so, yeah, so we're not really widely known, and I'm not really sure why we're not standing up on our soapbox. I don't think there's as much skepticism out there as there used to be. I think that people are becoming more and more open, and actually they need the help. They need the answers. They need to be encouraged to say, hey, look for something more, because there is something more out there for you. I remember, and I'm sure you guys have heard this, well, some of it before. When I first was going to get married, you have to go to City Hall and get your, what is it called?
License.
Thank you, license. And as I'm standing there talking to the lady, filling out the form with my husband, well, fiance at the time, I hand it in and she goes, oh, you have to change this, and hands me a new form. I said, oh, what did I do wrong? And she says to me, well, you put spiritualism in as your religion. That's not a real religion. And I went, pardon me? And she said, well, that's not a real religion. I said, honey, not only is it a real religion, we ordain our own ministers. And she went, no. And I went, yeah. I said, wait a minute. And I walked over to the little stand they have, because they have this stand and it has this page on it that has all the different ministers in the area that can perform marriages. I said, see this last one right here? That's my mother. She's an ordained minister in the spiritualist religion. And she went, oh. And at that point I was a little peeled, right? Because I'm still working, like I said, having a human experience, still working on my own stuff. And I just went, okay? And she goes, okay. I said, go and look at this website, blah, 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 go and figure it out. Okay, but the thing that scared me the most was, how many times has she said that to somebody? Right? How many times has she said, oh, that's not a real religion? And technically she's right, because it's not a religion. It's a philosophy and it's a science as well. It's a way of living. So anyway, that was a pretty heavy-duty lesson for me. So I'm going to ask that you take your flyer. You're not going to like me. I'm going to ask that you walk up to somebody at some point over the next couple days and say, hey, this is where I go. Want to come with me? Want to come and see what it's like? Because there's so many people out there looking for answers. And it doesn't have to be someone you don't completely know, although if you would like to do some of that work, you're more than welcome to come to RipFest with me. I could use the help. But it could be your best friend, it could be whoever, and just say, look, I want you to have a look at this, because I know you're seeking as many answers as I am, and there's other people like you. Make sense? Think you guys can do it? Please? Okay. Is there anything else that I wanted to talk to you guys about? Oh, this is a really, really key part, and I can't believe I almost forgot it. Okay, so when you unfold your little pamphlet there, before you actually completely unfold it, it's this first page here when you open it up. And it's the second paragraph down, and I want to read it because it's so very important. And if you can keep this in mind when you're talking to other people, you'll be fine. Our organization does not state that you must believe in our principles, or in anything that we teach for that matter. Taking personal responsibility for one's own spiritual education is important. We challenge you to read many different philosophies and religions and take workshops and classes. Utilize as many educational tools as you wish to learn and advance your education. So guys, I know it's tough. All I can say is no thank you. Okay? And I'll leave that with you. Say God bless and say thank you so much for coming in and listening to me today.